Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Legio and this is City Skylines Mahigan, Episode 10, Bus and Metro. If you guys are enjoying the series, please remember to leave a like and or subscribe because it helps my channel grow a little bit and get seen by people who may enjoy it as well. So in this episode, we're going to redo our metro and our bus area, mainly for two reasons. Three reasons. One, I just don't like the way it looks. Now that I'm better with procedural objects, I think I can make it look a little bit more realistic, a little bit nicer. Two, I'm not happy with the way the metro lines are. So like they all kind of come in here and they're going off of this road or this rail right here, and it's not looking good to me. So I'm going to rework those metro lines, try to make them a little bit more realistic. I'm going to try to, I can't mimic the metro plan that Chicago has. You'll see it on your screen there. That's just a lot of rails. And I don't think I could do that in City Skylines. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to use it kind of as an influence, and we're going to see what we can get done out of it. I'm basically going to add more lines and see what we can't come up with. Another thing I'm doing is I'm reworking the bus terminal, because while this is a nice looking building, I feel like I can now build one that's a little nicer. So we'll see what we get out of that. But the main thing we're focusing on today is this lot over here with this parking lot, where this is in this area right here, and obviously the metro station. So that's going to be our main focuses for the day. But with that said, let's get into our history lesson, and I think you're going to enjoy this one. Alright, today's history lesson is going to be on the Solomon Guggenheim Art Museum, which you saw me place in the last episode. This asset was created by Clakey, and I'll put a link to it down below in the description. The Guggenheim Art Museum is located at 1071 5th Street in Manhattan, New York City, and was designed by the famous Frank Lloyd Wright, using a modern style. The Guggenheim Art Foundation was originally founded in 1937 by Solomon Guggenheim, and it was the first art-based venue in New York City at the time. The Guggenheim Art Museum that you see on your screen was opened on October 21st, 1959, and has hosted several famous collections throughout its history. Its location was chosen due to its proximity to Central Park and was seen as a refuge from the city life. Some fun facts I found on the Guggenheim is the original admission for an adult was 50 cents. I checked on the website and today it now sits at $25 for an adult. Originally, Wright intended to use a red marble instead of the white concrete that you see. It was decided to use the white concrete due to the sheer cost and volume of the red marble. Some famous movies that you would have seen in the Guggenheim include classics such as Bye Bye Birdie, When in Rome, and my personal favorite, Men in Black. Another fun fact that is hardly known about the Guggenheim is that Mr. Wright had originally sketched over 700 different designs before he settled on the one that you see on your screen. So yeah, this building was not originally well received by the public or many critics. A lot of people referred to that dome or bowl as you see as an inverted oatmeal bowl, and they didn't see how this would give much sense to the paintings or the sculptures that were inside, thinking that people would go to see the building instead of the artwork. I think time has shown that this building, while itself is a work of art, also showcases the work of arts inside of it very, very well. It's a lovely building, and I think it works really well here, right next to the waterfront. When this gets filled in an episode or two, this is going to look really, really good, I believe. But with all that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this history lesson, and I'm going to leave it at that and get right into this quick build. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Hey guys, we're back. Hopefully you're enjoying the series and this episode. If you are, please remember to leave a like and or subscribe to the channel because I could always use more of that. I'm going to have to talk pretty quiet, mainly because my wife is working and she works from home and I don't want to disturb her. So I'll just probably turn the volume up in the editing. So we're working on the Metro lines here, and you'll notice I changed the style of the Metro line. I went from the old school ones to the new school ones. The reason why those old school ones just weren't working. They weren't going over the roads like they should. They weren't being over road friendly. So I just switched them out. And these look just as good. It doesn't have that retro vibe that I was wanting, but that's okay. I can totally live with this because these still look really nice. Also, I think I cleaned up a lot of those Metro lines that I originally had. I think it makes more sense, especially compared to more realistic Metro maps that I looked at, like Chicago's. I looked at New York's for a little bit and stuff. So I was very determined to keep it above ground Metro, and I think I nailed it. So what I'm working on here is the bus station. I work on this for quite a bit, and it's going to end up being a very large bus station. And my thinking was this is going to serve not just the downtown, but the surrounding area of Mahigan. So all the towns I'm going to build around it, like Castor and Nishna and all of them. It's going to serve them, and it's also going to serve as the incoming traffic from like out of state and stuff like that. I don't know how to word that. It probably sounded silly, but it's going to handle all three of those. So if you're coming into Mahigan from out of town, you're going there. If you're coming into Mahigan from a surrounding town that's going to be built later, you're going there. And if you're just traveling within Mahigan, you're going there. And so I think the bus station turned out pretty good. I modeled it after the Greyhound bus station in Chicago. So I use that as my influence. And its positioning is between that Metro and Grand Central Station. And my thinking is you come in off one of those, you can just hop on the bus, or you get off the bus and you hop on one of those, in a nice central location. Thought that'd be very nice. I also put a subway down for them to use. So you're going to see me fight with these roads here for a little bit now too. There was some work done off camera, and it was just kind of a pain in the butt to get them to line up right. I had to use the node smoother. And it eventually turned out looking decent. I'm not 100% happy with it, but it just wasn't working out right because of spacing. So what you're seeing me build here is going to be the awning for the bus terminal. And I really kind of like the way it turned out. I know it might look a little weird. But that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted this to be like a modern, weird looking building. And I think I nailed it. I think it came out really good. So what I basically did is I took that procedural block that you can find on the workshop, and I just procedural modded the crap out of it to give me a nice flat roof, and then just put some pillars in that you'll see here in a second. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. So with all that said, I'm going to get you back to some music, and I'll probably be back in a little bit because I spent some time on this building right here, as you can tell. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the build. If you are, please hit one of those buttons I told you about earlier. Hey guys, I'm back for round two. So, what I'm building here, what you're seeing on the screen right now, are the new dormitories for Mahigan's downtown university. I think they look very dormitory-esque, 3 towers, a lot of students, and we're right next to a tram station and the highway. I just feel like that's something that a university would do to its students. Because I know when I stayed in college, I had towers that I stayed in. They were extremely uncomfortable and in a terrible location. I digress. The building you saw with the red stripes, you can't see it on your screen now, but I'll show you in the aftermath of all this. That's the liberal arts building now for Mahigan's downtown university, because I felt, Mahigan needed an addition. Just needed more to it, so it got more. What I'm kind of doing here is adding to the downtown skyline. I'm finishing up this area. It needs filled in. I need to be done with this. I've spent a lot of time with the downtown, and I'm sure you guys are tired of seeing it. I'm kind of ready to work on some other stuff, so I think the next episode we're going to finish the downtown and move on from it. If I don't, move on to something else anyways. So, yeah. The plans for Mahigan is this series is going to probably take a break here in a little bit, because I got a lot of stuff coming up, so just stand by. I'll try to get episodes out when I can, but life takes precedence, and it's a busy time of year with holidays coming up and everything. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys that heads up. I'll still be working on stuff, I just don't know how often I'll post. Let's talk about what's on the screen though, because I'm extremely proud of this building and that Pepsi truck that's down there in the corner. I built this 3-tier condo area, and I think that's Lake Point Towers in Chicago. It's a real building, I know that. And I just kind of took all 3, gave them different heights to give it some depth and character. And then what I build with it, coming up here in a second, I'm extremely proud of. I think it looks awesome, and it wasn't the easiest thing in the world to build. It took me a minute. Here it comes. So what I basically did, I took these brick walls, and I more or less made brick planters, and I gave it some tiers to it. And once I figured out what I was doing, it's a really simple process. It just took me a minute to figure out what I was doing. And then I skip around a little bit here because it took me a while to get this done, but I used procedural grass, and I just kind of filled it in, made it look nice. And then I filled the whole thing with bushes and everything here in a second. And I feel like, that'd be a great addition to that building, and especially with it being on the water. I know I say that a lot, but, I'm just kind of proud of this. So I want to brag, and I'm going to brag. Because if you can't brag about what you build in this game, what's the point, right? So yeah, you can see I'm just filling it in with a whole bunch of trees, bushes there, but I'll add trees later. And yeah, there it is. It's getting filled in. I might change a few of the trees, but I definitely wanted it to be green. So yeah, super happy with the way that turned out. There's pictures of that going up on Instagram. But the rest of this is me just basically filling things out, changing things here and there. Making shamrock. It does look like shamrocks to me, and I kind of like the way it looks. So if you guys are enjoying this build, you know what to do, and I'll get you back to the music, because I'm sure you enjoy it more than my voice. Alright, we're finally back to the live play. So let's discuss what we did and what we're going to do going forward. You watched most of what I did, but I built this behemoth of a bus station, which I think I got pretty close. Here's the real life inspiration up on your screen now. I think I got pretty close to that. We redid our metro station and some of the lines. It didn't change too much, as you can tell. I wanted to keep it simple. I think the layout is more open to what I can do now. I hated getting rid of the old looking rails, but they just weren't working, so I went with the modern rails, and they still look really good. So we added the liberal arts building. We didn't get to talk about it much in the live play, but I think it's actually an art gallery, and I just PO'd it and just kind of made it work to what I wanted, and then just decorated around it. We got some condos and student living over here. We discussed that. Over here we got our bank of skylines, some other skyscrapers. But down here, decals are messing up. But down here we have this pool area that I was really happy with how it turned out. I love the look of those decals when they render. I think they look really, really good. I just really like the way that pool area looks. And then over here, probably one of my favorite parts is these 3-tier towers, and I just think that turned out really good because you got some mixed elevations there, and then you got this multi-terrace here, which just kind of goes with the theme, I believe. So overall, very happy with how this stuff turned out. Hopefully you guys are too. If you are, leave the love down below. Going forward, I want to finish the downtown in the next episode, and that includes just some of these random bits and pieces I've left empty, and the Lakeshore Drive. So the Lakeshore Drive basically goes from our ferry harbor to, I'm saying this road right here. And then this over here I have plans for already, and that'll be its own episode because I'm not considering that really downtown. This road right here is like the end of downtown. So yeah, I think the next episode we're finally going to get onto some waterfront property and get it filled in. I think it's going to look really good. Tired of empty space. Got to utilize the space, right? So with all that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. I'm going to leave you with some cinematics, and you guys have a good day. See you next time.